Hello and welcome one and all to OFI6 Round 2 Saudi Arabia. I am absolutely delighted to be bringing you this event. My name is Jaden, or J-Man as you might know me as, amongst the Oceania servers, or from the previous OFI4 in Belgium. And with me tonight is a new commentator to the OFI scene. It is an absolute pleasure to have Zandon in the commentary box. Zandon, how are we going?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for having me. How are you going myself, mate? How are you going yourself?
Yeah, absolutely fantastic, and it is going to be an awesome event, as Tuesday was. An absolute cracker of a race. We saw a 5-car battle pretty much from start to finish, and hopefully we'll see some similar quality racing tonight. And it's going to be really interesting to see. Obviously, the Riley McKay took out the win in Bahrain in an absolute thrilling race. He came from the clouds to take that win, and Gregory Prisball and Jack Humphreys ran out the podium. It was an incredible drive from Jack Humphreys, a OFI legend, as it were. So hopefully we see something similar tonight. Xena, do you expect to see some of the similar drivers up there tonight, or are we going to see someone new pop up?
I'm definitely expecting to see the VA boys up there. They were very good at working together with each other last time. I'm thinking Race, he's been very consistent over the past fights he's done. But don't know about a fifth driver. Maybe Dunno might be up there, but I think that one's open for anyone to take.
Yeah, there's going to be plenty of drivers, especially we know there's a few drivers that love the Saudi Arabia circuit. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone pops up. We've already got 64 viewers on the stream. It's awesome to have you all here. And while we talk about that, on Tuesday, we did also have a code word from Slammer for the Next Level Racing promotion. And it is awesome that they are our major sponsor for OFI and they continue to do so. So make sure to get that code word in when it comes through. And we are going to play a little advertisement, I believe, just to remind you what's up for grabs for a potential winner. So we'll play that through now. Yeah, so thank you once again to Next Level Racing for being our major sponsor for OFI. It's awesome that we can put together an event like this with an awesome prize as well. So make sure you don't miss your chance. I'm sure Slammer's going to chuck in that code pretty soon. So make sure to keep your eyes peeled. But we are going to move on. And before we get qualifying started, just in a couple minutes' time while the drivers get ready, we are going to have a quick reminder of the race calendar for the OFI6 events. This is the second of them, and we will have a month break afterwards. So starting off in Bahrain last night, which Riley McKay, as I said, took an awesome win. And then round 2 tonight in Saudi Arabia, followed by round 3 and 4, so the first 2 rounds are our quote-unquote desert rounds. So going to be really interesting to see that. Round 3 in Zandvoort as we move over to the European tracks. And Xandon, what do we think about the calendar and we move into the second half of the OFI events?
I think these European tracks and American tracks are going to be very interesting for the drivers to see how they adapt to the newer style of tracks. Of course, there's more heavy braking tracks. So we've got Las Vegas with the big straight for round 6. That might create, if you've got higher wings, you might be faster down the straight, and then lower wings slower down the straight. But yeah, we've got the little image of the calendar, all 6 rounds. We're currently on round 2. Round 1 was on Tuesday, as you did mention, J-Man.
Yeah, absolutely right. And we are going to be zoning in on round 2 in Saudi Arabia, of course, as that is the topic on hand tonight. And it's a very interesting track. The most turns out of any circuit on the F1 calendar, 27. A lot to navigate. Very high speed, particularly that first sector. and it can be a very rewarding track. Also, a track you need to have a lot of skill to absolutely nail. So hopefully we'll see the best drivers come out on top. We usually do in Saudi Arabia, but we are going to move now and look back to Tuesday as we look at our race results from that event. And what an incredible event it was. Pretty much 3 packs altogether the whole race, from 1st to 5th, and then I think it was around 6th to 12th position, and then a pack towards the back as well. But that front pack, these are provisional results, so but we will take them as the actual results for now. Riley McKay leading that championship after an incredible win. As I mentioned, Gregory Prisball and Jack Humphreys rounded out that podium, but Oscar King and Campbell Adams were not far behind in P4 and P5. And Xander, you can run us through the rest of the points paying positions.
P6 went to Yusuf. He dropped off the DRS change just a little bit earlier than he would have liked. That let the top 5 run away with it. Then closely behind, only by 8 milliseconds, is Reese Fisher. P7. Yep, P7 Reese Fisher. P8 Meowsy Gaming in the Williams. Yep, in the Williams. He was very, very fast. In P9 was the Ferrari, of course. He was very, very speedy. That was F1 Ferrari Pro. And in P10, you might know him as T-Mac, but in this event he's running as Thomas. He was very, very fast on track, made some very, very skilled overtakes, so I think he's going to be trying to do the exact same today, same as the other drivers.
Yeah, exactly right. And that was a really interesting battle. That midfield pack was getting very heated towards the end of the race. And I think there were a bit of tensions flaring all across the leaderboard. So it'll be really good to see what happens tonight. Are we going to see a few fireworks? Hopefully some good hard racing will be on show once again. But yeah, we got to look back on that awesome performance by Riley McKay. He dropped off the lead pack a couple times, and he found his way back through and just picked his moment to absolute perfection on the last lap, and took home the victory. So that was really impressive. I'm already seeing a few compliments on my suit, so thank you very much, everyone. Karma set the standard last night. He's actually racing tonight. He's reserving. We'll get to the lineups in just a second, but I feel like I just need to carry on the tradition a little bit. He's really set the dress code high. So that's a good segue into the driver lineup tonight, which we will have a look at now, Xander.
Yeah, the driver lineup is pretty good. We've got 3 reserves. Karma reserving for Checkered. Then we've got Dunno in the Kick Sauber and Abyss in the Haas. Other than that, everybody else is the same. So I think that close racing will still be there.
Yeah, absolutely right. And there's some quality reserves coming in as well for their first race. I believe this is Abyss's first OFI race. I've seen him race personally, and he is no joke. He is absolutely rapid. So I look forward to see what he can do tonight. Karma, as we know, he's a man who could do of many abilities, Karma, on the comms on Tuesday and now straight into the cockpit. So I can't wait to see what he can do as well. And of course, Dunno, a very well-known name around the league racing scene, is all over the place. So it'll be great to see what he can do tonight, Xander. But since we do have the driver lineup here, who is your prediction for the win or the podium? Are there any drivers that are particular Saudi specialists that we might be looking at tonight?
I know Dunno is a big fan of Saudi, but I think those VA boys will top the podium out. I think them working together so well, knowing how to trade each other DRS, it is going to keep them ahead of the rest of the grid. But I think Dunno will be up there. I think he'll be able to jump through the field, maybe Reese Fisher as well. So, again, we'll have to see how this goes in the race, but I'm thinking the VA boys will lock out the top 3.
Yeah, there's so many great names across the field. Those VA boys are very quick. There was obviously a big point of contention on Tuesday night whether the teaming was ethical, how obvious it was. I know Jack Humphreys might have had a few issues to raise about that, and Campbell Adams as well, who fought really hard in that top 5 pack. So those two in particular did a really good job to hang on to that pack, who were 1, rapid, and 2, obviously working together a little bit. But it'll be interesting to see if something similar happens tonight. Maybe a qualifying mishap. One of them could get knocked out early, and that could reshape the field a little bit. So that's that's going to be really interesting to see. Also, another important aspect is the strategy. So on Tuesday night, we noticed all the 20 drivers started on the hard tyres, which ended up probably being the ideal strategy. Do you think we're going to see anyone try something a little different tonight, Zandon?
Yes, I can definitely assure you that. You can basically do any strategy around Saudi Arabia, whether that's soft hards, hard softs, hard meds. Not really a big difference between all of them. So we might see some drivers maybe at the back of the field going for more of an undercut, where some of the drivers at the front of the field might be going for an overcut to try and stop those drivers from behind, trying to jump them. But it really all depends on where you are on the field. If you're comfortably ahead, you could do overcut, what I said, or if you're back, you could do an undercut. But I think it'll be good to see where people choose to go with this one.
Yeah, exactly right. And all over the field, there's going to hopefully be a few different strategies, a few people trying some new things, maybe trying to get a surprise high result. And obviously, no safety cars to bail anyone out with strategy as well, which personally I think is a great move for OFI to not have any safety cars. It really puts it on the pace and the racecraft to decide who's going to win the race rather than put it down to luck. So I think that's really good as well. We're just about to get quali underway. I can see the drivers are readying up shortly. And it's going to be a really good session. Obviously, 3 qualifying sessions into the 50% race. It was Gregory Prisball that led all 3 qualifying sessions on Tuesday and took pole position, followed by Oscar King and Riley McKay. What do you think we're going to see, Zandon? Are we going to see something similar?
I think it'll be similar. Those guys are in a completely different league. They are rapid. Those guys, they're really, really fast. So I think we'll see something similar.
Yeah, those 3 are just unreal drivers. We've spoken about them a lot already over this OFI period, and in this game, they've just stepped up another level. So you got to tip your hat to it. As much as people might be controversial opinions, I absolutely love watching them drive, and they're really good on the track. So we love to see that. As qualifying is just getting underway now, and we are doing the Saudi Arabia circuit, and we have our very own Matt Plevy or Plevs to take us through a hot lap of Saudi while the drivers get their setups ready. So we're going to play that for you now.
Take you through a lap of Jeddah for OFI round 2. Reese was actually meant to do this track guide, but you'll have to make do with the older and wiser RB driver tonight. So opening up the last corner, start our lap here. Opening DRS, head up to the line, start the lap. Now turn 1, heavy braking zone, braking just after 100. Use all the curb, turn 1 and 2. Turn 3 is not really a corner, up to turn 4. Sip it in there without hitting the wall. Now this is where all the time is on the track, nailing this section, don't want to grind this curb there. Zip it in there, can take this curve here. It's a good run through there. Now up to turn 13, braking late just after the 50. Tip it into the corner, run it out wide onto the wall. Up to the turn 16 chicane here. Tricky little chicane. So this section, basically straight, you just want to minimize track meters up to turn 22 where it's going to be full commitment. Can easily throw away your lap there through those corners. Now one more corner to go really, which is the last corner, 27 I believe. So braking just before the black box. Late apex. Opening DRS, run up to the line. And there you go, that's a pretty average lap of Jeddah, but I'm pretty sure you'll see a lot quicker than that tonight. But there you go, that's the Jeddah circuit. Back to the boys in the commentary box.
Lev's an absolute legend of the OFI and Oceania League scene. It's awesome to see him put on a show for us, and thank you all once again for joining us in the chat. As we now look as Oscar King setting his first lap of qualifying. He did get looks like a bit of a slow lap for him just to start us off, but now we are well into Q1. It's going to be interesting to see the people who are on the edge of Q1 last time. Hopefully they'll be trying to make their way through. So the drivers that did get knocked out were Potato, Checkered Flag, Frosty, Seb Spicer, and Seb. I think Checkered Flag is out tonight, so he obviously won't be able to improve on that. But the other drivers will be looking to make their way through Q1 and move their way up the order. And the grid position is very crucial here in Saudi Arabia, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Grid position can determine where you finish in the race, but if you stay out of controversy, it can lead to many wonderful things.
Yeah, so Tom Starling said his first banker lap on the intermediate tyres. There's a little bit quicker from Gregory Prisball with a 27.3. We're going to be seeing a lot faster than that. Gregory Prisball's pole lap was a 125.924 in Bahrain, which is absolutely astonishing. I think my PB in Bahrain is barely cracking the 130s. So just to give you an indication of how good these guys are, that is on display for you right there. And the drivers still getting their initial banker laps done, which is good to see. And Xandard, why don't you talk us through the ins and outs of the track and where's most important to get your corners right?
Yeah, there's a lot of places you want to get your corners right as well. There's a lot of heavy braking zones and some faster corners. But as you can see, coming out of the end of Sector 3 there, if you muck that up, that'll cost you a lot of time. And you wanna get a good exit into the DRS zones, as I say, one after another. So if you kind of get mucked up on one, the other two will not be as fast as you would have liked. J-Man, do you need a reinvert there? Or do I? I don't think I've got you out.
Yep. Yeah, just keep going.
Easy, I believe that is the Kick Sauber of Websy. He's gonna... No, that's the Mercy. He's starting his lap. He's apparently a Saudi merchant. We'll have to see how he goes. Seb, he's going to go to the line. P3, 128.32 for the Aston Martin. Really cooking up a show for himself tonight. Now there comes Websy through the final corner. In Sector 3, he's going to storm his way to the checkered line. He's going to go into the pits. It's a bit of a slower lap for him. May have made a little bit of a mistake on a corner exit. That is just my prediction. I believe that is Oscar King. He might be going out for another lap. Yes, he is. There is a Haas. No, that's Mercedes. There goes Riley. 127.204. Could not tell if that was a Haas or a Mercedes for a second there, but that is the Mercedes. VA boys currently lining out the top three. All in the 1 and 2 are in the low 27s, and Oscar is in the mid 27s. But I think we're about to see an improvement. He hasn't validated there.
Yeah, strikes another invite if you can. Sorry.
I'll see if I've got you added. Don't know if I've got you added though.
Actually, hang on.
Yeah,
it's my bad.
Can you add me real quick? I can.
Nah, I have you added. I was just appearing offline.
Okay. Speed invite you. God, communicating.
So you keep going, I'll get it sorted in a sec.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know. I don't think I've got you added there. Really weird. The V-Carb, that's Plebs. He did our demonstration lap. He's starting his lap now, I believe. Yeah, that's Oscar King. He's invalidated, so I believe he'll probably pull into the pits, as he will do so. I think that's Riley following him in. Further back, though, that is the Williams of Jack Humphreys. He's going to storm to the line. He's going to barely beat out Oscar. 127.53 for less than 30 milliseconds. That is very, very close. Ferrari Pro, he's had a stellar lap, 27.7. Now on a second one, although there is an Alpine of what I would have to believe is Karma F1. He's storming to the line. Tuesday's commentator wearing the suit. That's where J-Man got his inspiration from. He said the 27.821. Ferrari slowing down. Looks like he might be setting up to go into the pits. Trying to find that McLaren of T-Mac. Riley, he's very, very confident with that time. I think he is correct there. That will get him through. T-Mac or change from Thomas. It's now T-Mac. He got 10th last race, so hoping to score more points, maybe higher than a P10. That could be expected. A Red Bull of all. I keep saying all the fun hub. It's just Yusuf. He's starting his lap time now. Up comes a V-Cub of Reese Fisher. He's starting his lap time now. Plevs darting back into the pits. May have had a little issue that we didn't get to see.
Try the invite now as well.
I'll see.
I definitely have you added.
Yep. Okay, that's. What's your? Is it just J-Man?
It should be.
Yeah.
It could be ID or something.
Is it JBG?
Nah, that's not it. I'll see if I can get one of the drivers to chuck us an invite.
Yeah. Quickly. I'd probably say your best bet is with the drivers because I haven't been able to find yet.
Yep, no worries.
Yeah. That's Campbell back into the pits. Where is it? Reese. He just had a purple second sector. That, I mean, on this game, and I think previous F1 games, the purple sectors aren't always true, so that could or could not be for Reese. That is Yusuf going into the pits. The Haas behind. Oh, that's not a bit. That is Tom Starling. He's on the softs now, not the intermediates. 28.0. Coming up to the line goes Reese Fisher. P9, 27.958. Very, very good banker lap for him. The kickstabber of Mercy, 29.1.
Alright, here we go. I've got an invite.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's perfect. I did see Slammer hop in, but if you make a couple of mistakes, that will cost you dearly. So now hope that, for Mercy's sake, he can set a better lap time down. That's the kickstabber. He hasn't set a lap. He will be able to pass his teammate. Microphone just unplugged there. The top four have retired. I think they are definitely safe. There goes Plev to start his lap.
Yeah, it looks like the top four are good to go. Riley Mackay leading up with 127.2. Very solid lap from the top four, which should easily be enough to get him through. We'll keep our eye on Plevs for now, just to see if he can pull himself out of that bottom five. He is currently in P19, flying his way through Sector 1, and this is going to be his first eligible lap of the session. So we'll see it's a 32.2, a decent first sector from Plevs there, as he rounds his way along that long right-hander. It feels like it goes on forever, and he's finally able to flick it back left, then to the right, a little bit of an S here, and you come through at very high speed. So difficult to get that corner right, but Plevs has done a job here, and he's looking very solid. The DRS open, the second of the DRS zones on this lap, and he's saving up that battery for the final push to the line, as his split time pretty decent through Sector 2. Will it be enough to pull him out of that bottom five? It's Tom Starling in the danger zone at the moment. He's going to be hoping that Plevs isn't able to knock him off 5 minutes left in the session though, so still a little bit of track evolution and improvement to go. Plebs now with that run to the line and the DRS open. It's looked a pretty solid lap. Is it good enough for Q2? No, it's not. It's a 1:28.1. He'll get another chance, but he is right on the cusp here, Zandon.
Yeah, Plebs, he's going to have to get a really, really good second lap to skim his way through. Oscar King's broken up that top 4. Again, barely beating out Jack Humphreys. 1:27.518 as the kick Sauber of Websy. He's not on his lap. The Aston Martin of Seb behind. The other Red Bull of Oscar, I think he's also coming in. So I think a lot of drivers are now going to start coming into the pits. Yep. Of course, we did see Potato set a 27.7 while you were going over Plebs at the very, very start there. But I think all these drivers are now going to start coming into the pits, setting on, if they haven't gotten a competitive lap like Mercy, maybe if he's all the way at the back, he might want to put on a new set of softs. If he makes it into Q3, that'll dearly affect him. But if he wants to get through, he might have to just put on those softs just for a last ditch effort, as I believe Reese did do that at Bahrain. I might be wrong though, so take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, so a few drivers coming out now. Obviously, we've got a few drivers on the edge here. Mercy's down in P20 at the moment, not in the position he'd want to be. Seb Spicer will be looking to avoid back-to-back Q1 eliminations. And Yusuf, who had a really good race out in Bahrain, also under a bit of pressure in 18th. And then Plevs and Websy as well. And Potato's up in 6th after a Q1 elimination on Tuesday. So I think he'll be safe with that 1:27.7 time. But it's going to be tight because that midfield is very closely packed together. Only two tenths between 6th and 12th. So if a few drivers pull a lap together, he might be in the danger zone. The first driver to come out for his lap will be Abyss. He's currently in P13 on his OFI debut, and his teammate Tom Starling just behind him. Although this is an individual event, so there will be no teamwork between the drivers, you'd suggest. And now Abyss puts the foot to the floor. 2 minutes 50 to go. This might be his one and only crack at it to make his way into Q2. He makes the run down to turn 1 and just takes the right amount of curb there. There's a little bit of a ghosted car in his way as Oscar King and Potato, they're happy with their lap times. They're retiring and are convinced that they'll be able to go to Q2. Abyss with a little bit of sliding here, but pushing it right to the limit. And lucky to not get caught on that curb there. Can really cost you a lot of lap time if you do so, but he's done well there. And he's up 2 tenths through the first sector. This is a great start from Abyss as he rounds that long right-hander and keeps it tight to the wall once again. And this is looking really good for the Haas so far.
Yeah, the Haas, he's having a stellar lap. As you can see, he's riding those curbs dearly. Again, you don't want to bottom out on him because that will cost you valuable time and maybe make you lose the car just a little bit too much for coming into this faster, shorter chicane. But what I've done is you just drop a gear down, but still stay on the throttle, let the revs carry you through, which don't think he did there, but that is what I usually like. Coming into the final corner, want to brake nicely, slowly release the brake, slowly onto the throttle, about midway through the corner. He's going to dart straight into the inside of the pit wall because that will save you a lot of time. And he'll go to 27.6. That is a very, very good time. And about only 8 tenths to 17th. That is a very, very close gap between 17 drivers. I've seen him forever.
Awesome lap from Abyss there. He's really making his mark, and P6 is a really encouraging sign in that lap time as well. So he could potentially go deep into Q3 if he keeps that kind of form up. And we're going to keep a close eye on the drivers that are on the brink of elimination here. They're fighting it for their lives at the moment. Seb Spicer is on what will be his final run of Q1, and he's down there at the 28.3. He's going to need about a 3/10 improvement to knock off Seb, who's currently in the danger zone. Both those drivers got knocked out in Q1 last time out. So Sebastian Spicer will be fighting tooth and nail to stay in this one for another session, and he is up a 10th and a little bit through the first sector, and he's looking pretty comfortable. It's a very steady drive from Seb Spicer here. No sliding whatsoever. He's keeping it well within the limit, but plenty of pace about the Alpine here as we get to that DRS. Once again, saving plenty of battery. The battery management, very important around this circuit. As you make the run through the final sector, is 2.5 tenths up now. This could be very, very close whether Seb Spicer gets out of Q1 here. And the time is now up. And this is going to be his final chance. He needs to nail this final corner. One that's had many drivers come unstuck, but he gets it right. Was it quick enough? McJammy dodged to P13. Seb Spicer, can he get himself out? He crosses the line. He does not. He lost time in the final sector. Seb Spicer will be out in Q1. But what about Yusuf? What about Mercy? Yusuf is coming round now in the Red Bull. And we'll see what he can do now. DRS open. And he's a little bit up on his time. Yusuf P6 last time out in Bahrain, almost 5 tenths up. This is looking good from Yusuf. As long as he can bring it to the line, he should be safe here. What about Websy and Plevs? We'll see what they're doing at the moment. McJammy Dodge now on the cusp down in P15. He's been knocked out by Plevs. Plevs has put it in P14. Not completely safe yet, though, because Yusuf is coming to the line. In fact, Karma's in a bit of trouble as well, who's currently on a lap. Here goes Yusuf DRS to the finish line. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 27.7, and that has put him well safe into Q2. Mercy's coming to the pits. And what about Karma? Karma, the last driver. Can he get himself out? Is it Karma or Plevs? It's Karma into Q2 by the barest of margins. 5 thousandths of a second. Plevs out in Q1. That's a disappointment. Great lap from Karma right at the last moment there.
Karma, he slid his way through there. Plevs, don't think he had as nice of a lap as he would have expected. Maybe just a little bit of mistakes, but I definitely think he can make it up in the race. Both kick Saubers around in Q1. Doesn't seem they got as good a laps in, which is very, very unfortunate. Would love to see them through. Karma, though, that was a stellar lap time by him.
Oh, yeah.
To
that
barely.
was absolutely exceptional.
Just
disappointment for Plevs, though, down in P16. He looked like he had it. He did have an improvement on his final run, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough for him. 5 thousandths of a second, the difference. Unfortunately for Sebastian Spicer, that's back-to-back Q1 eliminations. Mercy in his first race of OFI6 down in P20. He'll have to work his way back from there. And then Websy and McJammy Dodge as well. 2 drivers who performed quite well in Bahrain down there out in Q1 as well. So any surprises there, Xandon?
I think Websy was a surprise when I wasn't expecting to see him out so early on in qualifying, but that has opened the door for other drivers, so we might see some drivers that might have been out in Q1 sneak into Q2. One big name would have to be Karma there, as we are over into qualifying.
Yeah, I was really impressed by some of the driving there, particularly from Abyss as well. On his first race, did an awesome job on his first run in OFI, which is awesome to see. He's through into Q2 and with a lot of pace about him as well. Also, Yusuf set an absolute ripper of a lap under pressure late. So that was really impressive from him as well. Thanks for the compliment, Wilbur. I do my best. And if you've got any questions while we've got a bit of downtime in Q2, make sure hashtag Ask Jaden or hashtag Ask Xandon. As long as the questions are appropriate, we will answer them. And yeah, so really, it's really poised well set up into this Q2 here, Xandon. Really tight battle between the lower midfield here.
Oh yeah, this lower midfield is going to be so not even like, I don't even think like a tenth or two, maybe 3 tenths of difference between them. So it will be very, very close. I think it'll basically be everyone in the 27s, probably mid 27s, and it'll only be about 10 to 15 milliseconds from P10 to P11. So we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. Race just jumping through into Q2. He qualified P12, I believe. So he's lucky he got himself through, I believe, on that one set of softs. So he's got more softs to play with now and into Q3.
Yeah, exactly. We're getting a couple questions coming through. Geordie's asked me, where did I buy my suit? I bought it from David Jones for my Year 12 formal. I think the sleeves are a bit short for me now, but it's the only one I've got. So it does the trick. And Devastator asked, when do we get a pants reveal? If you stick around to the end, we'll that might happen. I can't make any promises, but it might be up to Slammer whether that's appropriate or not. And the letter P asked, and where's your suit?
We don't talk about suit. Wasn't in my favour. Well, I didn't really know we were wearing suits till about an hour before. I'm going to try on some other ones. Did not fit me, so...
Yeah, it's my bad. I did spring a bit of a surprise on him there. But that's all right. We are fit and firing in this Q2. Most of the drivers are out on new tyres as well, so a couple will be looking to maybe be one and done, set a good lap right off the bat, and then just happily sit in the pits. We'll have a look at Oscar King, our one of the top drivers in this division at the moment of OFI. He's been on fire. Unfortunately, fell short of the win on Tuesday night, I believe. Yeah, he came P4 after qualifying P2. So we'll see how he goes here, making his way through the middle sector. And his split time is a 1 minute flat, which is just absolutely superb lap time. As Tom Starling set the tone early, we're going to see these lap times begin to ramp up further and further as these guys continue to push it to the absolute limit. Abyss is a little bit further behind that, but here goes Oscar King in the Red Bull. He's got a good time to match there for Gregory Prisball, a 27.0, and it's just behind 2/10, 21.2. I think Gregory Prisball's lap time would almost be good enough to just pack it in, wouldn't you think?
Oh yeah, I think he probably could retire now and he will be through, but probably for his safety, he'll have to... I think he'll wait because he might be 27 zeros, but everyone else just might suddenly jump up there. Might not, but I think he'll wait till probably a later part on into the race after people have set their first laps. That's Race Fisher coming into the pits. He didn't set his lap time down. Mustn't have been happy with it.
Yeah, invalidated that one, unfortunately, Race Fisher. So it's going to be a really important session for those guys who are on the cusp, on the brink of Q2. So Tom Starling is one of those. He got eliminated in Q2 on Tuesday and then had a moment early on which sent him down to the back of the field. So he'll be looking to resurrect those hopes tonight of a good result. Unfortunately, that early race moment really pretty much ended his evening before it even got going. So we've seen plenty of pace from him already tonight. He's one of the drivers to definitely watch out for. Also, Ferrari Pro, Websy, Bags and Al Karudin got knocked out in Q2 on Tuesday. Websy's already been knocked out, but Ferrari Pros looked very solid so far as Riley Mackay's crossed the line, going fastest. And that is the first lap into the 26s, and he has shown some really good pace here. I think Riley Mackay might have just been a little bit behind the two other VA boys in Bahrain, but I tell you what, he's looking strong here in the early stages of qualifying.
Yes, first driver to get into the 26s. I think we will see more of that. Thinking probably the top 7 might be in the 26s. More chance of being the top 5, but I think the top 7 will jump into the 26s. I'm guessing Gregory and Oscar will be doing that in Q3 or maybe even Q2 if they go back out again. The Ferrari of Ferrari Pro, he will escort his way into the pits. I believe that will be karma to the Williams of Jack Humphreys, taking out P3 on Tuesday. He's going out for his first lap in Q2, getting followed by, not Potato, that is Seb. But Campbell coming through the first couple of corners. Set a decent first sector, now into sector 2 on the soft, so he won't set around a 130. He'll be setting a very, very fast lap time into this faster chicane. A 1 minute flat, just a full 1 minute for sector 2, purple second sector, so it's a lie on this game, for all we know, but I think that will be true as he comes into the final corner. This can make or break your lap. He's taken it very, very nicely. It seems to be that he's gotten a very, very good exit. You're going to see he's going to come very, very close to the pit wall. He's going to dart to the checkered line, 27-0.
That is absolutely beautiful from Campbell Adams there. Puts him in P3. And that's one of the other talking points as well, was Riley Mackay and Campbell Adams being in the same car. That did cause problems for Riley with the pit stops, but he was able to recover that and get the win incredibly. In the meantime, we're looking at Jack Humphreys, the legend of OFI, one of the most renowned drivers in the region. The odds have been stacked against him for pretty much for both races, tonight and Tuesday. So we'll see if he can find a way through. He just always has a knack of finding his way to the front of the field, does Jack Humphreys. It's fantastic to see, but he's going to be flying down towards the line now for his first run. And it's P6, 127.3. Not as safe as he would hope to be at this stage in qualifying. So Jack Humphreys might have to set another lap just to make sure he is safe. And then a couple other drivers have gone slower or invalidated. But Reese Fisher now in the V-carb is flying along through the middle sector. And this is going to be a very important session for him as well. Another very well-renowned driver of the region. And with the DRS open now as he makes his way towards the final corner, can Reese Fisher find his way into Q2? This lap could have a big say in it as he hits the final corner now. And that looks pretty solid from Reese Fisher. He's going to fly along now. Final DRS open. Hugs the inside wall. What's he going to get? It's a 27.5. Puts him in P7. Slots in right behind Jack Humphreys there. A few drivers here right on the edge of what will get them through to Q3. So it's going to be a really tense finish here, I think, Xandon.
Yeah, Reese Fisher, I don't think he's setting the lap times he'd like. I think he wants to be setting just a little bit faster because he is definitely not safe though that time. So I'm expecting him to head out again, maybe looking for a lower 27. Yusuf Goat, he did invalidate. He darted into the pit. Through comes T-Mac though, through the final corner. He's got a very, very nice exit. Going to cut it nice and close to the pit wall as he crosses the checkered line to set his time down. 27.376 P7 it will be for him as Reese Fisher is now in the danger zone. P10 for him, but Tom Starling, I think he'll be... No, he won't be into the pits. He will come up to the line. I think he might improve here. Yes, he will. 87 milliseconds. That'll put Reese Fisher into the bottom 5. So he's definitely going to have to head out for another lap.
Yeah, so... sorry, Xandon. Yeah, Tom Starling just sneaking his way through there. The drivers like Karma and Seb who just scraped their way through. Do they have anything left in them, do you reckon? Who do you think is going to be able to sneak through from that bottom 5?
I think definitely Reese. Yusuf will probably get through if he can actually head out for a lap. I know he was out and did invalidate, so I think it'll be a shock exit in Q2. Might be someone we're not expecting. Maybe one of the Haas boys. Again, they're not safe. Anyone that I don't think anyone in the top 5 down is safe, really.
Yeah, so those top 4 look pretty comfortable in those positions, but I think it could be anyone from Jack Humphreys down that could be in a bit of trouble. So this is going to be a really important last 3 minutes. Al Karudin actually set a really good lap time there to put him in P5. We didn't really get to see that one, but yeah, Abyss and Tom Starling, they're in the danger zone. They're going to need a little bit more lap time, you'd suggest. because Reese Fisher and Yusuf in particular, they're going to have some more lap time in them. Yusuf, he's only going to get one crack at it now. He's invalidated either once or twice, so it's going to be tough. Also, thank you to the 136 viewers that have tuned in tonight. It is absolutely awesome to see the support for this event. It's an incredibly well-run event, and it's awesome to see everyone get around it. So thank you all for joining us once again. Hopefully we can continue to get that number up as the night progresses. But in the meantime, 3 minutes left in Q2. Karma is on his outlap, making his way to the start-finish line. The fan favourite is Karma, and we will see what he can do late on here. Can he put together a miracle lap to get himself into Q3? Wouldn't that just really excite this qualifying session? He needs about 4/10 to do it, and off he goes. The man who's great in the commentary box and now out on the track. He's said Saudi is his favourite track in the game. I'm really talking him up here, so he's got to really get this one right, and we will see what he does here. The first sector, he's absolutely flying through it. Oh, he's run wide and he's invalidated. I think I've put the commentator's curse on him there. Unfortunately, Karma, he might only get one more chance left here with 2 minutes left to go.
Yeah, I was about to point out, if he doesn't make it, you've comms cursed him, and he's just gone wide. The Aston Martins are tailing him there. They're looking to set their laps at a very, very similar time. Of course, Riley McKay did invalidate at the start of there. He would have set a 26.7, but fortunately he did invalidate. There goes Gregory, though, 26.8. So Riley would have been ahead of Gregory there. So that's two drivers now on the 26s. I'm guessing Campbell might slip on through as the Williams of Jack Humphreys. He'll be the next one to start his lap, as everyone that isn't on a lap are on their out lap. So every single driver looking to improve on their lap times. Campbell will be next to do so, as he's going to charge through Sector 2 to, I believe, 22. No, he's coming up to there. Now he's going to have to keep the car nice and steady over this curb. You can ride them because they're flat into the ground, so you can kind of cut them as much as possible without invalidating, of course, but you can basically fully plant the car over them without invalidating, but you do have to be careful. Up into turn 27 goes Campbell. Basically around third or fourth gear here. You want to send it out onto there. Going to go nice and close to the pit wall as the Mercedes looking to jump Riley McKay, his teammate. He won't, but it'll improve by 34 milliseconds. There goes Seb.
That's
Seb?
on track, I think.
Yeah, he's...
Yeah, so Seb retired on track. It might have been a crash in the turn 1-2 chicane there. So Seb, unfortunately, will be the first driver out in Q2. I think that was an improvement for Thomas McInnes there. Abyss is also out. I think that was in the same spot. So two drivers now gone. F1 Ferrari Pro is coming to the line now. He needs a 3/10 improvement. Abyss in the danger zone in P10 and can't do anything about it. Yusuf's out also. F1 Ferrari Pro crossing the line. He does it. P8 in this qualifying session. He's done it. He's just gotten his way out. I think he's going to be safe. But what about the two Haas drivers? They are P9 and P10. Reese Fisher is on his way in the RB through the middle sector. Can he do it? He's up 2.5 tenths. It's going to be enough at this stage if he can hold it together. Karma's also on a lap, as is Potato. Potato is about to come to the line in a second as well. We'll keep an eye on that lap time. But Reese Fisher now flying towards the final corner. Let's see what he can do. Potato did not improve. So Reese Fisher just needs to beat a 27.4, and he's through into Q3. Karma couldn't do it either. It's all down to Reese Fisher. Is it Abyss or is it Reese Fisher? It is Reese Fisher who puts in P6. In fact, Tom Starling's actually fallen behind Abyss there. I thought he was in P9. So Tom Starling is out of the session. So Abyss has made it through to Q3.
Yeah, that's a shock one from Tom. He was up there in Q1, but he'd unfortunately dropped short. Seb and Yusuf, I think Yusuf crashed at around the start of Sector 1 into like Sector 3. I don't know what happened there, but Seb seems to have crashed at maybe Abyss as well. We'll have to Maybe get some more insight a little later. A hole bumped Yusuf. Okay, he's drived over a little hole, Yusuf. It's unfortunate for him.
Yeah, so really interesting there. The Seb and Yusuf couldn't get their final laps, and I don't think Yusuf ended up setting a lap time there. And now he finds himself in P15 for the race, which is not exactly where he'd want to be in the meantime. So is Abyss out? It says he's out on the screen there, which is interesting. So yeah, so Tom Starling just misses out again in Q2, and then Potato, Karma, Seb, and Yusuf. Karma put in a great effort there. I think he improved again on his last lap, so a pretty admirable performance from him, and he's going to start the race in P13, which I don't think he'd have any complaints about. What do you think, Xandon?
Yeah, I don't think he'd be complaining at all, but I think that's Abyss through. I don't know, that'd be very weird if he doesn't get through, because that was 6 drivers that may have not counted Yusuf as one because he didn't set a lap time, but we'll have to wait and see on that one, as we are into Q3 here. On the pit wall, you can see the Haas pit wall, the Kick pit wall, V-carb. No, Abyss is out.
Yeah, so it must have been that DNF.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he crashed out, which means he cannot participate in Q3, obviously. So Abyss going to be starting in P10 and no better, but I think that's a very admirable performance from him in his debut race. So he won't be upset, but he'll be disappointed he doesn't get a crack at Q3 against all the big boys. So this is where it all happens here. We've got 12 minutes of battle royale between these 9 drivers. I'd say these 9 are probably the benchmark for what we'll see. I think the best 9 drivers have gotten through here. So obviously you got the 3 VA boys, Campbell Adams and Jack Humphreys, that leading pack from the other night. And F1 Ferrari Pro has made the leap up into Q3, as has Al Karuden, who is an OFI winner as well, Al Karuden. So hopefully we'll see something similar for a similar type performance from him tonight.
Yeah, Al Karuden, I think he'll probably go top 5 collie, maybe top 7. As we can see, Jack Humphreys, he'll be the first driver to set a lap time now. So he's going to be the standpoint for this first couple of laps. The safety car still on track.
That's happened before, actually.
Yeah.
OFI6 in Belgium, we had the safety car out during qualifying, and it's happened again. This is why we have ghosting off, I think, for qualifying, because the safety car can just come out on the track and do all sorts of things. So that's a good one to see.
Yeah. That might be our 10th car in qualifying, you know? Bert Mylander.
Yeah, I think they're replacing Abyss.
Yeah, Abyss. Instead of Bert Mylander.
Have you unplugged your mic there, I think?
What? Oh, yeah, no, I'm working.
There you go. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, it's faulty as hell at the moment, so my bad there, chat. Coming through turn 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now goes Jack. I'm guessing he'll go low 27s and 26s. As you can see, these top 20 Oceanic drivers, they can ride those curbs like it's nothing and keep pushing on. Where you put a tier 3 driver or a tier 2 driver, they might spin it. So these guys have put a lot of effort into perfecting their racing line for their entries and exits into corners. Yeah, you see, he's rode that curb without spinning off it. Usually some driver would just spin off it because they just have not entered the corner correctly. But Jack Humphreys setting down a nice lap time, storming through the S's, keeping on those curbs, using all of the track, gonna ride the curb.
Oh,
invalidated, yep. That's what happens when you go just a little bit too far, because these drivers are trying to use as much track as possible, and as a street circuit, don't have as much as usual circuits, and he's just ridden the curb just a bit too much, had a little too much fun, and unfortunately, invalidated there.
Yeah, I think he might have been pushing too hard, Jack Humphreys, because it was a 1 minute 3 through the middle sector, and He might have, that's a little bit slower than what we've seen from the front runners, so I think might have been a bit too desperate to make that time back up. But in the meantime, F1 Ferrari Pro, the first driver to cross the line, he is going to set the benchmark, which is a 1:27.6. Not exactly what the types of times we're seeing from the front runners in Q2. Thomas McInnes just knocks that off by under a tenth. So two pretty decent midfield lap times there. But we'll wait to see what the VA boys and Campbell Adams and Jack Humphreys can do, because it looks like there is a bit of a qualifying gap there, because the best time in Q2, I think, was about a 26.8. So
26.7 invalidated.
26.7 was invalidated, yeah. So that's a lot. That's a far cry from what we've seen in the early stages. Obviously, still plenty of time to go, though.
Yeah, tons of time to go. Al Karudin, he'll be next in line up into turn 27. Gone through the second DRS straight. Now, about the exit, around about, see that line there, it says DRS there? He'll get that open for the final DRS straight. He'll go 27.288. Provisional pole, but a lot of other drivers still to set their lap time down. I think that's Gregory Prisville going to be starting his lap. The Williams of Jack Humphreys setting up for his next lap. Oscar King getting ready for his. So I believe it is Reese Fisher. He's going to be the next one to set his lap time here. The V-Carb. Very, very strong. Storming his way into Q3. Not by much, but he did it in fine fashion.
Yeah, Reese Fisher set that lap time right at the end to get himself in the mix here. So we'll see if he can impress us here in the late stages. We're already down to 6 minutes to go. Q3, the shortest of the sessions, as we all know. Reese Fisher coming to the line to set his Q3 banker, and it's a 27.9. So a bit of a warm-up there for Abyss. What about Campbell Adams crossing the line? And that is more like it, a 26.8 from Campbell Adams. Now, what are we going to see from Riley Mackay crossing the line? Even better. In fact, it's better by 0.3, and that has blown everything else out of the water from what we've seen so far. He has got a brilliant banker on this start of Q3 at the moment, a 26.5. Gregory Prisbill's invalidated, so no one is going to get anywhere near that on the opening runs, and that is really going to put some pressure on the rest of the field now, especially those that are trying to get pole position.
Gregory invalidated, I believe, at the end there. He may have been invalidated. Yeah, he's in the pits. I think he'll be matching Riley, but I think Riley topped all the VA boys. I think he's put a little bit more practice into Saudi than he did Bahrain. Oscar, though, might prove us wrong. Coming through turn 27, DRS is enabled down that pit straight. 26.9. Just behind Campbell Adams, so very, very good.
That is an outrageous lap from Riley there. Someone's mentioned in the chat that's only 0.3 off E-Series pole, which is just unheard of. These guys are ridiculously quick, and Riley, it's going to be hard to catch him, especially if he can improve on his next run. So I think a few drivers will be gearing. It might be just a fight for second now, to be honest. Oscar King was 0.4 off. Gregory Prisbill couldn't keep it within the track. So the pressure's on. I think a couple of drivers are starting to feel a bit of the heat now. The qualifying, so important here. So most of the drivers in the pits now. And make sure to chuck your predictions for pole position in the chat. I think it's a pretty obvious one at this moment, but you never know. Someone could come up and give us an absolute stormer of a lap right at the end.
Yeah. If it's anyone, I'm guessing it's going to be Gregory, because he's done it in the past, but we'll have to wait and see there. Oscar, I'd have to guess he's on his in-lap, and it's going to go immediately back out into Q3. I'm guessing Reese Fisher, he went out on old softs. I think someone pointed it in chat, glanced a little over, but I think he was on old softs there, saving his newer set, so maybe he had to use another one to maybe get through into Q3, for all we know, but not a good sign if he's only got one, hasn't been able to set the best of bankers, so won't really know where he's going to be able to find the most time.
Yeah, well, Reese Fisher, Jack Humphreys, and Gregory Prisbill have all either set no lap time or not at the best lap time. So I think Jack and Gregory are going to be the two ones that have really got the heat on them, especially because we know they're expected to qualify right at the front. They know that they're expected to be at the front. So that is where the heat is going to be and where we're going to have our eyes on when they do come out of the pits. But all the drivers now are in the pits, gearing up, ready to go for one final run. Riley Mackay is I just can't get over it. It's outrageous lap time. We really see just the standards in terms of pace from these top drivers are nothing, unlike anything we see anywhere else. So awesome to watch, and we can see the safety cars coming down the main straight again to do another lap. So Bernd Mailander is not done, although that might just be me. I'm not sure if you're seeing that as well.
I'll have to see there.
Yeah, so drivers starting to come out now. Thomas McInnes and F1 Ferrari Pro will be pretty content with where they are at the moment, but they've got to fight in their mirrors as well because they've got 3 very quick drivers behind them as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely 3 very, very quick drivers. Thomas just letting that is F1 Ferrari Pro through. Doesn't really want to be at the front of the pack, wants to set his lap time as late as possible, but he has gone out just a little bit earlier. I think all these guys have, just to make sure if they do invalidate, they can just quickly speed on through into another lap.
Yeah, so all the drivers out. Oscar King has finally made his way out onto the track, and a minute 40 to go. Is there going to be anyone who's going to surprise us here?
Is there? I don't really know. I think maybe our code, and he might set a stellar lap time as his lap is from the start of quali where Riley's and stuff is all from the middle. So I think he's definitely got a lot of pace hidden there. So we'll just have to wait and see.
In really good form at the moment, Al Karun in this qualifying session. So we're going to take a look at Jack Humphries as he makes his way down to the final quarter to start here. What will be his one and only flying lap. He's got to make sure it counts. His first one did not, and neither did Gregory Prisball. So the heat is on them. Jack Humphries now makes his way down the main straight in the battle for pole position. It might not be in reach that lap from Riley Mackay, but can he get himself up there and give himself a chance at this race win tonight? We will see. He's making his way through the first chicane now, and off he goes. And he's absolutely nailed that one, not using much battery to start off the lap. And he is waiting for that final sprint to the end. And it's a real balancing act here for Jack Humphries. Does he push it to the limit and risk not setting a lap at all? Or does he just go for broke and take the risk? We will find out what his plan is here through the first sector. It's a 31.7. That's pretty good through the first sector there. And we are down to the final 10 seconds. The final seconds ticking away now. And all the drivers are going to have to be centimetre perfect, to quote the great Dennis Cometti, as Jack Humphries now makes his way through, carries great speed through there. And now through the middle sector, second of the DRS zones opens up. And he's flying along at the moment. Let's see this split time. It's a 1 minute 0.1. It's not quite the pace that pole position is setting, but can he set this final sector alight to really give us something special here for Jack Humphries, the OFI champion? Can he do it one more time here with all the odds stacked against him? To the final corner now. A little bit of a slide through there, but this is looking a pretty decent lap for Jack Humphries. Where's it going to put him? It won't be pole, but it will be P4 for now. Jack Humphries does pretty well on that lap. It leaves him in a decent spot for the race. And now the next to the line will be Gregory Prisball. Al Karuden is in 5th place and won't improve from there. Thomas McInnes retired. Won't go any better than P6. Gregory Prisball, his first lap of the session. Can he get it anywhere up towards the front of the grid? DRS open. He's used everything in his arsenal, and it's not going to be enough. It is going to be a P2. Riley improves again on his lap. Can you believe it? And Oscar King is invalidated, and he will finish P4. Jack Humphries down to P5. Campbell Adams didn't improve either. In fact, a few drivers invalidated, but Riley has gone one better at the end of this session and is 2/10 clear of all comers for pole position.
Yeah, that is a stellar lap time from Riley, and he even improved at the end there just to solidify him on pole position. So I think if he's got this pace, he could run away with it for all we know, but I think he'll definitely try and work with Gregory, as Oscar unfortunately invalidated there. So he'll stick it in P4, which means those VA boys are split on the entry of the race, which might actually stop their little train from working. So we'll have to see what Campbell can do to stop them.
Yeah, it was a top 3 all VA in Bahrain. This time Campbell Adams is able to get himself into P3. He did very well. Oscar King will be ruining that missed chance. He invalidated his lap, his final run there. So disappointment for him. He's only milliseconds ahead of Jack Humphreys in P5, who I think started from a similar spot in Bahrain, so he won't be too worried about that. But yeah, Riley Mackay, what a lap. 126.5. He goes even better than what we saw in his initial run, which is just absolutely outstanding. And after picking up that win in Bahrain, he's clearly got a lot of confidence from it, because he's 2.5 tenths clear of all the other drivers, and we'll see if he can reciprocate that form in the race. But what a qualifying session we've had. Plenty of talking points, Zandon.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a lap from Riley there at the end.
Yeah, an unfortunate outing for Reese Fisher, 27.9. Probably not the lap he was looking for. So maybe he was hoping just for a little bit of a better race. The lobby reset will happen though, so I've moved us back over to the normal comms cam. We might watch a little carnage that might happen at the start. That was very, very fun to watch last time. But qualifying there, Riley Mackay, star of the show. Do you think he'll keep that up in the race, or you think he'll try and get Oscar back in the top 3 and then they'll work together to try and get away with it?
He'll definitely have a crack. I think it's all right to play the selfish game here, especially when you dominate like that in qualifying. And if he can pull off back-to-back wins, that will be absolutely sensational. And yeah, it looks, yeah, we do have the lights coming on for the well, we do get the lobby reset, and I think we've got to stop the KSI lyrics in the chat. Slammer's going to be very upset at us. So
Yeah.
there we go. There's the carnage that ensues. It's always great to see. So while we're in the break, hashtag us Xander, hashtag us Jaden. Make sure to get any of your burning questions in. And as we get this lobby reset. Yeah, so very interesting starting grid here for what is going to be a cracking race if Tuesday's standards were anything to go by. So I can't wait to get this one underway. Is there anyone in that sort of mid-pack that you're going to keep your eye on? Maybe the likes of Karma, Al Karudin that can make their way through the field, or is it just going to be those front 5 that just pull away again?
I think there will be a little bit of carnage because these guys are going very, very fast. So there will be a little bit of wheel banging, a little bit of wheel touching. So that might put a stir into some things. Maybe like Abyss, maybe Reese might be able to jump up into the top 5 just due to the carnage, because the front 3, they know how to work together. But if they're trying to trade positions through heavy braking zones, they might just tap each other just a little bit, and that will do a lot here due to how little the gaps are.
Yeah, it's a great point, and it's going to be an awesome race. And we've got a couple of questions coming in. Ads has asked me if Karma loaned me his suit. He definitely offered, but I've gone with my tiny suit, which is actually choking me at the moment. So hopefully this race gets underway pretty soon. Otherwise, I might be in trouble. Someone's also brought up the Auskick race, which I'm a huge advocate for. Me, myself, as a Tier 3 driver, would absolutely love to see a mini race just in the break to really show all the standards from both sides of the spectrum. I'm sure you'd love that as well, Xandon.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I've had my form after turning full TC off, so of course I won't be in there because I'm no TC or no assist, but I think that'll be something good to watch if that does go ahead.
Yep, and Devastator's chucked in the chat. Who's your favourite co-coms to work with? So just remember, I'm here. I'm listening. So
Yeah. Oh, a little bit of peer pressure there, but I mean, me and you have had a good history. We've done a lot in your league, ORL. So I'll say you because we've done a lot. Also, because you're here, but I think definitely you are a very, very good co-commentator to work with.
thank you. And Slav has just got oi in the chat. If you were to pick one besides myself, you would have commentated with a number of people in all the leagues you've been in. So, is there anyone you'd like to give a particular shout out to?
I'll say Cam. He did OFI for Tuesday, but we work really, really well together. I've done a couple of them with him, not much, but I've done a couple with him, and we've worked like a good charm.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Although he does support Sydney, so
Yeah,
might be a bit of a takeaway there. So
yeah.
Although we won't make too much fun of Sydney. I know he's still pretty upset about that.
Yeah.
But as we get this session set up, we might just give you a quick reminder of the giveaway that's on for OFI, and we'll give you a quick ad break with the Next Level Racing. Thank you very much to Next Level Racing once again. Awesome prizes on offer if you just joined us in the last 20 or so minutes. So make sure to put the code word in there. It looks like a number of people have already put it in. It's an awesome prize. I know the great Geordie Slater won the rig last time out. I think he'll be hoping to win another one if he can get it, or maybe we'll give it to someone new this time. We'll see what happens there. But we'll focus on the race for now. Also, make sure to chuck in your questions. I think there's a couple that have come through.
Yeah.
Will you marry me? Not sure how to answer that one, but you have to take me out to dinner first before that happens. Leave the swans alone, says Ryan Cox. Oh, no.
Yeah, we're cooked.
Yeah, but I actually went to that game. I'm a Hawthorn supporter, but I was definitely supporting Brisbane on the day.
Oh, thank God.
And so happy to see him win.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm a big Brisbane fan. Hashtag Ask Jaden. Can we see your pants for the reveal? I know.
Stop asking. Stop asking.
Karma.
Oh my goodness. JB Perry is
yeah.
He's going at you. I mean,
it's coming. It's coming. I mean,
he can talk. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Action.
So yeah. We've almost got this lobby back underway.
Yeah.
Just a few more minutes. 138 viewers as well. Awesome that you're all sticking around, and hopefully we'll peak as the race goes on.
Yeah.
And might be a good time to quickly discuss the strategies. I know you're all over that, Zand. And what do you reckon is the optimal strategy around Saudi Arabia?
I probably have to say either like hard mediums, medium hards, because the softs, they're unpredictable. If I just take a look here, they will only last about 11 laps. That's in like puncture range, so they're not very, very good, where the mediums last about 17 laps at puncture, maybe. You want to pit around 14 to 15 laps in. If you start on the mediums and the hards. The hards will basically go to the end, so there could be a hard soft strategy for someone at the back looking for that undercut. Not undercut, overcut. My bad there. Or you could go for an undercut at the back as well. Soft, hard, so it really depends on what drivers are feeling like and where they're starting, of course, because that can play a big impact in this race.
Yeah, the hard soft strategy. I think a couple of people will be looking at that one again. Pretty much every driver went with that on Tuesday night, so we might say something like that again. Ads has asked me why I'm wearing 2 sets of headphones. That is so I can actually hear the game because I'm on PlayStation. And I did the last OFI and I could not hear the game the whole time and it was awful. So I've made the change this time. Devastator's asked you, who's your favourite person in the league racing scene? And remember, before you answer, who your team principal is.
Oh, God. Okay, that's a lot. I mean, I've got a lot of team principals, actually, so which one are you meaning? But for the OFI grid, I'll say Reese and probably you for tier 2, I know. Maybe even Chromad, because those guys have been very, very consistent in a lot of other tiers.
Yeah. Yeah, so the viewers are slowly racking up now, 165. And we're about to get underway. I can see most of the drivers have readied up, so this is going to be an absolute cracker. Ads has asked me if Mercy for the win is starting in P20th. So that is going to be an uphill battle for him, but it's great to see him on the grid as well. His game, and it's good to see that he's made a huge improvement. So good on him, and wish him the best for the race.
Yeah, I think it'll be good to see where he climbs up. Might be a little person to keep a little eye on because he might go from 20th to 5th for all we know. So I'll have to see how he fares. We're loading into the pit wall now though, so not too much longer till the race start, which that race start will be electrifying as these guys get the quickest of starts, can gap you instantly. So I'll have to see what they do. Fuel around here isn't really... I haven't tested it too much, but I don't think it's too heavy. But because there's no safety cars, you can't really underfuel. So drivers will... I think 0.5 over might be good, might be a little too much, but I haven't done much testing, so I could not tell you what a good amount is, really.
Yeah, so it will be interesting. Obviously, you can't really roll the dice with the fuel with no safety cars. I'm sure the drivers will have done their fuel testing. I'm sure a few drivers will utilise their fuel differently, so that will obviously impact what happens there. And as the race is just about to get going, the drivers making sure their setups are on and making sure the fuel's right, their strategy as well. So this is going to be a real exciting one here as we finally count down to the race kicking off.
Yep, I've been asked, where's the shout out for the shirt, which Social Queen did make the shirt for me. Thank you. Looks very, very good. Got shipped in, I think, on Tuesday, so thank you very much for the shirt. Social Queen, it is very, very, very good to wear, and it's very comfy.
Yeah, that's awesome. VSC shirt. Great league over there. I'm not in there personally, but there's many great leagues in all across OFI. We actually see them in the top left corner of our screen, and you can join those as well. If there are any prospective racers watching along tonight who want to get involved, every league will be happy to bring you into their system. So. Make sure to do that. So good little shout out for VSC there. And a bit later in the year, we might have, as Slam has put the Discord in the chat, I think we might have another league versus league event as well in OFI, which was an absolutely awesome event last year. And yeah, it's just great to see all the leagues getting involved.
Oh yeah, definitely. All these leagues coming together to help put this masterclass on is always very, very good. The drivers just giving each other some time to make sure setups are on. As we're about to go green.
Flick it over. And we are underway for OFI6 round 2. It's a great start for Gregory Prisball. He's already taken the lead off Riley Mackay, and it's battling between Campbell Adams. Oscar King muscles his way through into P3. A great start for the VA boys who make up for that qualifying and resume order once again. The top 3 is all VA to start us off. Gregory Prisball was able to nick the lead off Riley Mackay there right off the start. A fantastic effort there. Oscar King is getting hounded by Campbell Adams, who is desperate to try and make that place back. into P3 there on lap 1. But other than that, all the drivers have got through cleanly, thankfully, in a very difficult Saudi Sector 1 as we fly through. As Campbell Adams is having a great run at Oscar King. He's going to fight this one back, is the Mercedes. But Oscar King just hanging on there to P3. Nicely defended. He's made that position. He's held it. But for how long? Because Campbell Adams gets another good exit. He's going to have another crack at him. Here he goes, the Mercedes. Around the outside, turns into the inside. Campbell Adams has taken P3 back off Oscar King. This battle is not over yet. They've already lost 1.3 seconds to the leaders. DRS is out for these two, which is a big moment in the early stages. DRS activated on lap 2, and the top 2 have already started to run away, but here goes Oscar King again. He doesn't want to get held up for too long. Campbell Adams lets it go. This is brilliant racing on lap 1 between P3 and P4. Jack Humphreys just watching from behind as well. Is Campbell Adams going to have enough here? But we look to the lead. Riley Mackay takes it back from Gregory Prisball. He wasn't behind for long, and what an incredible start we've had here on the first lap at Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, Gregory Prisball getting past Riley at the start. Oscar King, though, he's actually dropped out of DRS from Gregory, so this could leave Oscar wide and opened Campbell, Jack, and Al Karudin. So it'll be good to see if Oscar can keep defending like a champion or if he'll just have to drop back. T-Max already got a 3-second penalty. May have gotten pushed off a little bit at the start for all we know. Already a couple of DRS trains forming, but most drivers choosing for the hard compounded tyres. There are the 6 going for the mediums as expected. Not many will go for the softs, so we'll have to see how the drivers fare with how the tyre strategies go.
Campbell Adams has also got DRS back on Oscar King, so the 2 front runners are on the medium tyres. That might provide a bit of reasoning as to why they were able to break away so quickly. It's now 2.5 seconds from Riley and Gregory to Oscar King, but here goes Campbell Adams. This fight is absolutely intense, and Campbell Adams makes his way around the outside, and Jack Humphreys points his car in as well. He's wanting to remind Oscar King he's there, he's in for the fight. And can Jack Humphreys now make a potential double overtake down the main straight? We could be 3 wide almost on lap 2. Jack Humphreys, is he going to go for it? Oscar King goes back past, and now Jack Humphreys through on Campbell Adams as well. The DRS proving too strong for the Mercedes on that occasion. He loses 2 places. He's down to P5 for now, and Oscar King gets back into P3, while the 2 leaders of Riley Mackay and Gregory Prisball are continuing to blast off into the distance. But in the meantime, the 2 McLarens of Al Karudin and Thomas McInnes are hanging on to that pack really well, as is F1 Ferrari Pro. And that top 8 are starting to break away from Tom Starling, who's leading a very long pack of cars towards the back. So it's similar to what we were seeing on Tuesday with 3 packs. It's just the front pack only has 2 cars in it.
Yeah, I think Riley and Gregory are going to get some assistance from Oscar, maybe purposely battling a little bit more with Jack and maybe Campbell to try and let them build a little bit more of a gap. As there goes Jack Humphreys. He's looking to the outside, now the inside on that Red Bull. He's getting very, very close. Jack Humphreys looking to the outside. That's also the Mercedes of Campbell Adams on that Red Bull. Red Bull going to have to back out of that one. So Jack Humphreys now into podium position. He slid.
Jack Humphreys in the wall.
No, he's just missed the wall there. Got a little bit too touchy with the throttle, it seems like. He's all the way, he's dropping positions super fast. He's now into P12, maybe P13, but I think players just a bit too far back. Jack going to keep battling it with Reese. That is very unfortunate for him.
Disaster for Jack Humphreys, and now Campbell Adams is going to be in a world of pain. He's being chased after by Oscar King. And Campbell Adams sends it down the inside, and getting a little bit rough and tough here between the Mercedes and the Red Bull. Not the first time we've seen this at Saudi Arabia. Campbell Adams is fighting with everything he has got here. He is not letting Oscar King go. This is a brilliant battle. Devastating for Jack Humphreys. Campbell Adams had a look around the outside almost there. He hangs on to P4 for the moment, but Jack Humphreys down in P9. Looks like he avoided damage, but that is disastrous to his race. And is he going to be able to find a way back into this one? It's going to be very difficult for him. But those 3 cars did get extremely close together. In the meantime, Oscar King still holding off Campbell Adams. What about Al Karudin? All of a sudden, his seen an opportunity. Jack Humphries is falling off the pack, and now the other drivers sense maybe I can sneak into the top 5 here, or maybe even a podium position. And Al Karuden and Campbell Adams are now absolutely hounding Oscar King. The pressure is on the Red Bull. The gap is 7 seconds to the leaders. That is the extent of the pressure that's been put on these two drivers. Now Al Karuden has an awesome run on Campbell Adams, and so does Thomas McInnes around the outside. A great run, and he's going to get past Al Karuden as well. And there's a bit of bumping there, and Oscar King gets tapped by Thomas McInnes there, and Al Karuden gets his way through, and now Oscar King is still there. Campbell Adams is just waiting behind for his opportunity. This is a 4-car battle into turn 1. Here we go. Campbell Adams down the inside is going to get it, I think, on Oscar King. Oh, it's close. There's contact again. Oscar King just hanging on. He is fighting for his life out here.
That's Reece Fisher.
Towards the back. It's Reece Fisher. And I think Potato might have been involved in that as well.
Yeah.
That is a sensational fight. Oscar King, I don't know how he held that position there.
Yeah, Oscar, he worked his heart and soul off for that Mercy with his 3-second time penalty. Now, Oscar does have right end plate damage, I believe, so that is going to be dearly affecting him. So we'll have to see if he can keep defending for much longer. Al Karuden nearly had a P3 there, but unfortunately, I think he overtaked just before DRS was enabled, so he did lose it. I might be wrong there, but Campbell Adams at the start of that last lap, he backed out and made the right decision there for the safety of other drivers. But that, I think Gregory might look for an overtake later on. Yeah, he goes. There goes Gregory, making a little switch back, little switch over with Riley, trading DRS, trying to pull a huge gap to Oscar, which is already in 5-lap stretch to 10.2 seconds, though they are on the mediums. There goes Jack Humphries sliding through. Jack Humphries in the wall. That's a McLaren tapping the rear left, I believe. So one of the McLarens, I believe Al Karuden, has now got end plate damage. No, it is T-Max who's got end plate damage, making a little bit of a collision with Jack Humphries. Down the inside goes Campbell Adams, though, into turn 1, 2, and 3. He's going to look for the switchback on Oscar King. I think he's got it. The switchback might be available to him. Looking to the outside. Coming into turn 4, he'll back out, I think, but he's still on the rear diffuser of that Red Bull, so I don't think Oscar is safe throughout this whole lap. Al Karuden might be looking for some of the action on that Mercedes. Same with Jack Humphries, but Jack Humphries, he's falling just back just a small amount, not enough though for him to be worried. Campbell Adams though.
Yeah, he's fighting hard here. He's tried the same overtake 3 times into turn 1, but he just hasn't been able to pull it off yet. But here we go, it's getting very tight. They have to lift off the throttle. Oscar King has slowed these guys down. It's 12 seconds, the gap between Oscar King and the front 2. Campbell Adams is going to make his way back past. The Red Bull is not going to let him go easily. He's going to fight this as long as he possibly can, but he couldn't do anything about it on that occasion. Now, it's all about whether Campbell Adams can hold and weather the storm of the Red Bull. Al Karuden could have a say in that. Back comes Oscar King with the DRS. He's going to have less downforce down those straights, which helps him. Jack Humphries is going to try and make a triple overtake. Into P4 he goes. Into P3 he goes. From the absolute clouds, Jack Humphries is back in P3, but not for long, because Oscar King did get that DRS back, and now Jack Humphries, a sitting duck with that DRS. He might have gone a bit too early there. Here goes Campbell Adams again, and Al Karuden's wheel to wheel. And it looks like the McLaren might have it, but a better run out of the corner for Campbell Adams. And there's a yellow off towards the back. Looks like McJammy Dodge has been involved, but Campbell Adams has somehow been able to hold on to that position. And Oscar King leads another lap from these guys, which is allowing Riley and Gregory to just absolutely pull miles away. And they are loving life out front. And the tactics might be questioned by these guys a little bit, but it's all's well that ends well for the front 2 at the moment.
Yeah, Oscar doing a stellar job at defending, letting drivers through at the right time, just to get him back with DRS. Of course, Jack Humphries there, he was looking for a 3-man overtake, but unfortunately had to drop so far back on the pit straight, just going in just a bit too late. There goes Jack Humphries as we speak about the man in blue, looking to make a move on Campbell, which he's done successfully now on the back of Oscar King. He's going to be searching that rear diffuser, looking for an open spot. He's going to go nice and early into turn 26. He might even get it before turn 27. He will. He'll lead coming into turn 25. Late dive bomb for Campbell Adams on that Red Bull. Not going to be safe, but that Red Bull will get him on this back straight. Just due to how much of a better exit he would have gotten. Round the outside goes Oscar King. This might save the Williams. That goes Campbell Adams to the inside. Same as the Red Bull on that Williams. Giving as little racing room as possible because you don't want to give too much out, but you still have to leave some good racing room. Oscar King wasn't able to get past Jack Humphreys there. Now that's left the door open for Al Karudin getting past that Red Bull. So the front wing damage is now starting to kick in for that Red Bull, I'd have to believe. Just getting a little bit less turn, and so he's going to have to go a little bit slower sometimes to make the apex.
Yeah, I think that's defence over now for Oscar King. He's got Campbell Adams, Jack Humphreys and Al Karudin all past now. So going to be really difficult for Oscar King to hang on. And now he's got Tom Starling putting pressure on behind as well. So this might be Oscar King's race almost over at this stage. He will be doing well to hang on to the points paying positions from here. He's clearly lost a lot of speed. But now it is a two-horse race out front, and the battle for the podium continues between Campbell Adams, Jack Humphreys and Al Karudin in particular. A few penalties a little bit lower down the field as Tom Starling, Tom McInnes and Abyss and Yusuf have also picked up penalties. But this train has sort of merged back together into one massive train all the way down to McJammy Dodge and P17, and then Ferrari Pro Mercy and Karma as Karma's actually come into the pits for a stop, but everyone else has fallen off the pack. And Karma is the only pit stop of this race as we head down the main straight. Here goes Jack Humphreys, takes that podium position back off Campbell Adams. And what an awesome recovery it has been for Jack Humphreys. He fell down to 9th after being in the wall, somehow avoiding damage. He's back into P3 for now. And the race has just cooled down a little bit as we enter lap 9 of 25. Al Karudin still desperate to find a way through. Oscar King still hanging into that DRS, but at this stage looking like nothing doing for the Red Bull, and this will cost him. He did pick up a good result, I believe P4 in the previous race. I don't think that's going to happen today.
I don't think so either, but we have seen a little bit of issues with Jack Humphreys nearly hitting the wall a couple times as we speak about it. Jack Humphreys into the wall again. That, I was going to say, if a driver into the wall, that can cost...
Ferrari Pro.
Yep.
He's retired in the pits, maybe?
No, he's way further from the pits. Huh? I think...
Yeah, he's crashed.
Oh, yeah. No safety cars, so... I didn't even mention Jack Humphreys, so, you know. P11, that is unfortunate for him. Now he's going to have to claw his way back through the field, try and get back up into that fighting pack for the podium. Probably the last podium position, but... Campbell Adams, he's now in P3. Al Karudin going to be putting a fight up to that Mercedes. Looking to the inside goes Al Karudin. Going to keep going down this pit straight. Too wide. He's going to get it before turns 1, 2, and 3. Does he get a good enough exit though to defend off Campbell Adams? Yeah, he has gotten something just as nice as would have liked, but as I was going to say, Oscar King, if drivers in front have misfortunes, he can make those positions up very, very nicely, because he's still with them, but he just does not have as much pace to keep up with him, especially in Sector 1, I think, especially Sector 1 with how much turns there are. That front wing damage will affect him as there goes Tom Starling. Now the kick Sauber and Websy on T-Mac. Looking at the inside of Oscar King as well. Websy, T-Mac as well has damage, so T-Mac and Oscar both have damage, and now Race... that's Plevs looking to have some fun with that McLaren, but he's gone. He's now having to defend off the Haas, but down the inside looks to go Plevs. Nope, he'll back out there. Ghosting, saving them just nicely there.
Yep, so Plevs really chasing down T-Mac, Websy as well on Oscar King, but he's got the buffer of DRS. Plevs is up 7 places. Websy's up 11 places, down from 18th. So talk about a stellar drive. That is it right there. Here goes Jack Humphries. He is never out of this race, is Jack Humphries. He went down to P11. He's back into P8, and he can still see Al Karun in P3 from here. So Jack Humphries has almost made 3 comebacks in the one race. He's also got the DRS, which is going to protect him from T-Mac and Oscar King and Tom Starling. Oscar King got back past there, and Webbsy just in behind. He's in a great spot. And in the meantime, Riley and Gregory have almost pulled a pit stop gap to Al Karun, which is going to help because they're on the medium tyres and they're going to have to pit before these hard tyre runners. If they can clear that pit stop gap, it will save them a lot of trouble. But it looks like Al Karun is just going to stay inside it. I think they've actually reeled in about a second or so in the last lap or so. So good work from Al Karun there, and Campbell Adams as well, who've started to pull away from Oscar King, who's holding this pack up. So a bit of a train, 2 trains of 2, followed by almost everyone else in the field. It's the great wall of Oscar King at the moment that's holding up Tom Starling and Webbsy as well. If Webbsy can clear both of these, he'll be up into 5th after starting in 18th place. This would be one of the more impressive drives in OFI if he can continue it, penaltyless as well, which a lot of drivers have picked up penalties in the early stages of this one. So a bit of a disappointment for them, but this is where the action is. Tom Starling is going to be getting frustrated behind Oscar King. Webbsy's there as well. He's going to be waiting for that opportunity. And Jack Humphries again, out of nowhere. Where is this speed coming from? He's up into P6. Can he clear Oscar King? He's going to have to do it again. He did it before, Jack Humphries, but he's got to fight off Tom Starling first of all. That DRS is on, but not gaining quite enough. Is he going to send it? No, a little bit too far back, but he does get that position of Tom Starling. Jack Humphries has been absolutely unreal so far, and he's back up to P6.
Yeah, Jack Humphries. There goes Campbell's out the session. He seems to have gone. He's in the wall. Yeah. He got
my goodness.
Looks like he's got a little twitchy with the throttle there, or he's just got a little wide. I couldn't tell you. That's Campbell Adams out. It was a shocking DNF from him.
Yeah, wow. The P5 finisher from Tuesday as well.
Yeah, that's gonna...
Yeah, big points lost for Campbell Adams up in P4, but Al Karun is now clear to have a good run, and he's clear in P3 now too, so he'll be raring to go. I think that was a self-inflicted mistake by Campbell Adams, and that is our second DNF, and I think we've had 2 DNFs as well tonight, and we didn't have any on-track retirements on Tuesday night, so Saudi Arabia already proving to be a difficult beast for these drivers to handle, but in the meantime, we keep our eyes peeled to Jack Humphries, the entertainment machine at the moment. He sweeps past Oscar King. What about Tom Starling? A little bit too far back, but now Jack Humphries has got his work cut out for him down the main straight. We've just hit over half distance in this race, which is unbelievable. This race has absolutely flown by. Oscar King is going to fight Jack Humphries back. Jack Humphries is going to defend it hard, but he can't do anything about that. Or can he? He had just a cheeky look down the inside, but Jack Humphries is racing extremely hard at the moment for this P4 position.
Yeah, Jack Humphries. A little bit of collisions. Yeah.
They both run off.
Yep. I think a little bit, not enough racing room there for Jack, I think. Just a little bit too close in, so fortunately forced both of them wide, which has very much affected Oscar. Gregory Prisvan, Riley, they aren't safe from that pit stop thing, the pit stop gap, I should say. They lose about 17.5 seconds, so not exactly safe, but again, still at a very, very far margin ahead. Jack Humphries, though, P4, can he chase down Al Karun? Either way, he does have that 3 seconds, so that will be devastating when it comes to the end of the race. Just due to how close this grid is. Other than the top 2, but everyone else is a good, not even a second, maybe 2 seconds in distance. So a 3-second penalty will affect you by a lot. As the VA boys up front are working with each other, NLR, Tom Starling down the inside on Jack Humphries. Probably the best thing for Jack Humphries to do. Gives him DRS on the back straight, which means he'll be able to easily overtake Tom Starling as a couple drivers choosing to pit. There goes Jack Humphries down the inside. He's going to get him before turn 1. Oscar King not going to really have much of a way to have a move there, so he'll just catch up. Plevs up into P7 with Jammy Dodge and Potato into the pits, going for the mediums. Alcaruden, though.
Yeah, Webb's near to the pits as well on the last lap, so he's attempted the undercut, and we'll see if that works. Obviously, Jack Humphreys and Tom Starling got held up quite a bit from Oscar King, so Webbsy's going to be aiming to pick up that P4, and Riley and Gregory are close to breaking that pit stop gap. I think it's around 17 seconds at Saudi Arabia, but not close enough yet. They'll still fall in between Alcaruden and Jack Humphreys, but that's not a bad position to fall in at by any means. So I think you should expect them into the pits very soon as well. And we'll go back to this battle. Oscar King just hanging on for dear life with Plevs, who's had an awesome run up 9 spots, chasing him down. Yeah,
Gregory, Brisville and Riley, they're going to pit, I think, in about 2 to 3 laps, not next lap. Just due to those mediums, they're going to have just a little bit more in, and they're still gapping Caruden, and he's on the harder compounder tyres, so got just a tad bit more left in them. Maybe not, actually. Our Caruden's catching just to turn 27. He's caught up a ton to Gregory. So,
flurry of drivers in the pits now. Oscar King, will he get that wing changed?
He will have to.
It didn't look like he did get that wing changed, actually. So he's gonna stay with the broken wing, which is an interesting one. So Oscar King comes out ahead of T-Mac, who also didn't get his wing changed, and then it's Abyss and Seb. So they're not far behind them either. We'll see how that undercut works. Jack Humphreys and Tom Starling in particular are going to have to push for their lives here. They both have penalties as well. Plevs does not, and he's on the back of that train. But a great run from Webbsy here. He's on the hard tyres. He's in P9, and I think once all the pit stops are completed, he'll be up to P4. So if Webbsy can pull off this drive here, this would be a sensational, probably driver of the day worthy performance from the kick Sauber. He started in 18th, and I'm seeing a lot of love from him in the Twitch chat as well, which is great to see. In the meantime, Alcaruden's hanging on for dear life as Greg and Riley try and gap him, and here they go, both into the pits. So let's see where they come out. These two, obviously broadcast pit stops, so no possibility of making a huge error. Alcaruden's coming down the main straight now, and no, he's not. He's coming to the pits, so they're going to have a clear run, the front two, and it's going to be a battle between them two for the win from here, you'd suggest, as Tom Starling and Plevs and Seb Spicer in the pits as well. Jack Humphreys staying out for now. Unfortunately, he did not catch the front two, so that is going to give them a free run to the finish line for the last 9 laps, you suspect?
Yeah, I think they'll pull away this one. They pitted at the perfect time where their gap was nicely done. It seems they've done it perfectly with these hard runners, because a bunch of the hard runners just pitted for medium, so they get the most use possible. But I'd have to say Jack Humphreys could maybe catch. There goes T-Mac. T-Mac's out the race. Looks like they've had a bit of contact there.
Yeah, that's in the first sector there. You saw, or Karma just went past him. So T-Mac still carrying that wing damage, and that is our 3rd on-track retirement for the race. They are dropping like flies at the moment. We're down to 17. In the meantime, Reese Fisher doesn't have to pit again in this race. He's on 6-lap old mediums, but he's got Alcaruden behind him on very fresh medium tyres, ready to chase him down. Potatoes had a great run as well. Just set the fastest lap on the previous one, and he's up into P6. Oscar King, P7 as well. Webbsy didn't come out exactly where he would have aimed when he tried that undercut. He's down in P8. He's got to pass Oscar King once again here. And Plevs is on softs as well, so he's down in P12. He has a feeling the softs are going to make it. He's got 8 laps to really fight his way through this field, so we'll see if the softs are able to have any impact in fighting the way through this DRS train here.
Yeah, the softs will be very, very good at the start of the stint, but will start to fall off massively at the end, so I think it'll be interesting to see where Plevs goes with this. Oscar King into P6, so making the move on Potato. He's not really being phased by that front wing damage, especially on the OFI grid. It's a bit too long of a pit stop to get that front wing changed as well. It's just because it takes about 5 seconds more on a pit stop, so 5-6 seconds, so that is major in the grid. Where Oscar is, it's not worth him to do it if he can just defend for his life and making some good overtakes as well. As they're coming in to turn 13, Potato getting very, very close to the rear end of that Red Bull. They might look for a move. It's getting a nice slipstream through into turn 17 and 18. DRS is about to be enabled. Round about here, I think it'll be enabled. There it is. Potato down the inside on Oscar King. Oscar's going to just basically let him pass nice and easy. So he's expecting to use the DRS on the back straight, or I should more so, let's say pit straight. There goes Gregory, 29.4 to get ahead of Potato. No, yeah, they've got him. Gregory.
And Websy as well has gotten through into P7. And
Oscar.
Now the main straight here. So has Oscar got DRS? He does not. So can Websy catch him? You've got Tom Starling as well, weaving around trying to find a gap as Jack Humphries finally comes into the pits, but he is going to get undercut by quite a number of drivers. Websy got really close there to Oscar King. Maybe didn't realise he had wing damage, but you've got to tip your hat to Oscar King for this driving performance. There will be a lot of drivers that would have been frustrated by his defence, but it's all been fair and legal, and he has been sensational. To be able to hold this position with front wing damage has been one of the more impressive performances, and he'd be up there with Websy for that driver of the day effort. In the meantime, yeah, Gregory Prisbill's setting the fastest lap on hard tyres when you got other drivers in the field on mediums and softs.
Al Karuden
is
got it back.
Absolutely ridiculous. Al Karuden, yeah, got it back. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so it was still very impressive at the time, but Al Karuden has just knocked him back there. Reese Fisher doing a great job as well in P4. We haven't mentioned he's 5 seconds clear of Oscar King. His wing damage is really helping Reese Fisher run away with that position, and that's also, so there's been fantastic drives up and down the field here. Jack Humphries has got a lot of work to do down in 12th position, but here goes Websy now, and Oscar King has employed this strategy all race long. Is there going to be a bit of DRS chicken between the two? Oscar King lets Websy through, and now down the main straight, Oscar King has allowed drivers to overtake him at the right time because he knows he can get them back, and now down this main straight, he's going to do exactly what he has been doing all race long, and that is get the overtake in return on Websy. And Potato behind, not far away at all, and then Tom Starling and Plev's just getting a little bit held up there. Abyss is in this pack as well, and Jack Humphries might not have been the best decision to wait this long for his pit stop, because now he's right at the back of the DRS train, and it might get a bit tough for him to pull his way back up the leaderboard here.
Yeah, I think he's going to hope that pure paces. We've seen him storm through the field. He might be expecting that to kick in, which it might happen as he goes down the inside on Abyss. Through turn 13, he's still side by side with Abyss. Coming through the next set of corners, DRS detection zone is there for this back straight one from turn 19 to turn 20, as it's going to get enabled here. That Williams, so he's got that 3 seconds, so either way, if he is to get up into that like P5, P6 position, that 3 second penalty is going to kill him. Up 29-50 for Gregory Prisbill. He is very, very fast. So those front two have already nearly gapped a pit stop to Al Karuden. If they wanted to, they could just go on softs at the end of the race. I don't think they will. I think they're just gonna cruise it home with this one. Reese Fisher hoping that Oscar King can just hold Websy, Potato, all that back. There goes Jack Humphries, making up a couple positions. Been affected dearly, though. Gonna get a horrific exit. Who's that in the wall? I think that's McJammy Dog. I think that's McJammy Dog, yeah.
McJammy Dodge in the wall, and there was a little bit of contact there for Websy, I think. Ran into the back of Oscar King, so he's still getting bogged down by the Red Bull here, and Reese Fisher is loving every moment because Websy, probably his biggest threat. Jack Humphries is there as well in P7. Somehow he's just been the comeback king today. I think about 3 times he's fallen out of position, but suddenly he has just been able to find his way through. It's been impressive. He's absolute bullet in a straight line, and he knows when to pick his moves. He's been driving with no fear really today as well, has Jack Humphries, and we'll see if he can pick up another good result. A P5 would probably be acceptable from where he is at the moment, and Oscar King will be fighting for P5 as well, and Reese Fisher and Al Karudin's comfortable at the moment as Riley Mackay gets past on Gregory Prisball. The two drivers we've just been driving their own little race up front for about 20 odd laps, and we'll see what happens towards the end of the race. Are they going to get their elbows out, or is it going to stay nice and respectful? That is one we're going to have to keep our eyes out for. But there's a big battle going on here in the lower midfield. Tom Starling had a bit of a moment out of the final corner, and this opens it up for Plevs and Abyss here.
Jack Humphries.
And Jack Humphries as well on Websy, and now on Oscar King. And there's contact, big contact. There's been tensions brewing between these two all night long. Jack Humphries forced him off here earlier in the race, and you can see it's getting tense. And Jack Humphries just ahead of Oscar King. He was not going to let him stay in front under any circumstances. Jack Humphries really letting Oscar King know his thoughts of his defence so far this race. Websy just tapped the wall there, but thankfully he's still okay. I think he's avoided damage, but Jack Humphries really getting his elbows out. Potato wheel to wheel with Tom Starling, who runs wide. He is struggling in this second stint here as Tom Starling down to 9th place, and he's still going to try and fight that one back. But Oscar King now is about to fall off the back of Jack Humphries, who has found some blistering speed on the new medium tyres, and he's back up into P5, and he's going to begin trying to chase down Reese Fisher in P4. But wow, this is tense between these two.
Yeah, 28-4 for Wright, 28-9. I mean, that was a very, very fast lap by him. Jack Humphries, I'm thinking he might be able to break away that 3 seconds, but there's a lot of DRS around here, so it will be hard.
DRS chicken.
Yep, there it is, yeah. Jack Humphries, he's given up DRS just so he can get past Oscar, but he also try and work with Websy, so Websy can also get past Oscar, which then Oscar... Actually, maybe not, because Websy, he wants Oscar to hold up Websy, but there goes Jack into P5 now in the first sector, maybe at the start of second sector. He wants to build that gap of a second, which might be easier said than done on these newer medium combated tyres, though Reese doesn't want Jack coming near him as he does not want to risk this P4. It is a huge result for Reese compared to Tuesday, so we'll have to see if Jack can catch. Jack's only made up about 5 tenths there, so not what he would have liked, but again in a better position than being about a tenth or two down, so he won't be as under fire coming through sector 2. Though Oscar King might be under fire from Websy in that kick Sauber, looking to the rear diffuser, smelling the fumes coming out of that Red Bull. Might not be the best fumes, but they're definitely there. The kick Sauber storming up behind Oscar. Not going to get him now, but might get him down on the back straight. Maybe Tom Starling might have a move on the kick Sauber into turn 25, 26 and turn 27. Might look for a late cheeky lunge. He won't. He'll stick behind. He might be a little bit responsible there. And then just wait for DRS to come along. Jack Humphries going to have to defend for his life from Oscar King. May have built up just a big enough gap, but... Oh no, yeah, he's built a big enough gap, so he has not been under fire from Oscar King. I don't think it's enough time for him to build that 3 second gap though, so that will affect him a lot.
Very well done there from Jack Humphries just to hang on, but Oscar King is there. He is fighting hard. He's not going to let Jack Humphries go. Also, that 3 second penalty is going to come into play, so that is definitely why Oscar King is going to try and hang into that range. Al Karudin well in third. The front two comfortably ahead by 16 seconds. The podium is set in stone, but this midfield battle has been encapsulating all race long and has provided more than enough action for us tonight, and it is fantastic to see who is going to get these lower points positions with a few penalties in the mix. Plevs and Potato are just hanging on to the edge at the moment. They've both had pretty solid races. With Websy as well will be trying to sneak his way into P5 with Oscar King still holding that front wing damage. But we're about to enter lap 24 as Riley and Gregory cross the line, and we will see now if the DRS open for Oscar King, whether he can catch up to Jack Humphreys. And we will see down the main straight. Is he going to be close enough?
Oh, it's close.
Websy as well with Tom Starling. Wheel to wheel, and Tom Starling's gotten through as well, so the pain continues for Websy. Oscar King way too far back to get past Jack Humphreys on this occasion, and it looks like all stations are going to be held as there's a lot of strategic positioning going on as we get ready for the final lap of this race.
Yeah, Oscar King, he's going to try and stick behind Jack for now, try and make the move, and then hopefully not get overtaken at the very, very end of the race. Reese Fisher, though, he's losing time to Jack Humphreys, so it won't be enough, I don't think, in these next 2 laps for him to be in this fight for P4 all the way down to... Actually, that's all the way down to P14. So, but I think he's safe there. Jack Humphreys, though, might be under fire from Oscar King. Tom Starling might give Oscar King a run for his money, looking for a move maybe down the Sector 2 DRS as it is about to get enabled right here. The Red Bull gonna have DRS from the Williams. The Haas looking to the inside, gonna push that. Oh, the Red Bull looking to the inside on Jack Humphreys. Gonna back out though. Gonna open the door nice and wide for Tom Starling coming up into turn 27 now. Will he go for it now, Tom Starling, or will he wait? Websy looking for a move down the inside. It's gonna be just a little bit too far back there. Too wide. The kick stabber down the inside on the Haas driver. Gonna get that done. But he's gonna get a horrific exit there. He's getting a little bit too touchy on the throttle. We'll put him deeply under fire from Plevs and Potato. Yeah, oh, it might be more than just Potato and Plevs. But Plevs just a bit too far back.
Yeah, it's final lap of this race. We're going to have a look at the leaders now. This battle is been brewing. They've been doing friendly overtakes now, but it is the final lap. The elbows are going to be out in round 2 of OFI6. Gregory Prisball versus Riley Mackay. We've got half a lap to go, and this is going to be a sprint to the finish line. Full tanks of batteries. DRS on for Gregory Prisball, who is going to take this win out. Gregory might be strategically positioned here in P2. Can he do it this time? He wasn't able to get the win in Bahrain. Riley was the man who stole it off him. But can Gregory get one back on his mate? He's going to go down the final straight here. Is he going to try and make the overtake? He is. He's going to get in front of Riley Mackay. Gregory on the last lap, but we still have one straight to go. Can Riley do it? He is going to have the DRS. It's going to be wheel to wheel as we go to the finish line. Who's going to be? Is it going to be Prisball or Mackay? Gregory Prisball will not be denied. This time in OFI round 2, he takes the win. A great result for Riley Mackay, but Gregory Prisball this time gets the win, and just by under a tenth of a second. An awesome result for them. They were absolutely dominant over the rest of the field. Al Karudin takes home a very good podium. And Jack Humphreys, he did get past Reese Fisher. Yeah. It's not going to matter, though, in terms of the penalties, because Reese comes home P4, Oscar P5, and then Potato and Websy, who had a great run, but unfortunately just wasn't able to make up those positions at the end for P7. Jack Humphreys, Tom Starling, and Abyss gets a point in his debut race. Well done, Abyss, for getting that result. But what an awesome race. Gregory Prisball and Riley Mackay were absolutely dominant. 17 seconds was the gap to P3. He could really raffle the winner between them two today, but Gregory Prisball was the man in the end.
Yeah, Mercy and McJammy, George, coming to the line, both at penalties. The Williams to the inside on the kick Sauber. Kick-Sauber looking to the outside, side by side. It's not going to be. It's going to be super, super close. Oh, I think they kind of
play a big games there.
Yeah, that was. I don't even think it was like 30 milliseconds, maybe less. But Gregory Prisville taking it out, getting the win this time out, which I think they're actually tied on points now. Riley and Gregory, if I'm not wrong, they might be tied on points.
Let me just have a look. Yeah, they will be. It depends who picked up the fastest lap, actually.
Riley picked it up, so Riley, jump.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if we have a fastest lap point. I'll have to double check that one.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so Gregory Prisball takes the win in a thriller. 17 seconds, but what an awesome midfield battle we saw. We really got to see the best of those midfield drivers. Reese Fisher, with an awesome race strategy, got him to P4. and Oscar King was able to hang on from P4 on the grid. He got that overtake on lap 1 to get him up into the podium positions, but that wing damage really just hindered him for the rest of the race. And then you look down those lower points positions, the two Haas drivers pretty much where they qualified, P9 and P10, although Tom Starling did jump his teammate. And Websy from P18, still a contender for driver of the day, I'd say, even though he was on for a potential P4 there, but he'll be more than happy with P7 considering where he started there.
Yeah, Websy up 11 positions. Very, very godly by the Kicksaba. That was one of the drivers I was like, I don't know how he got out in Q1, but he certainly worked his way through the field. The other Kicksaba, Mercy, everyone wants me to shout him out. Done a very, very good job being a tier 3. I'd probably say a tier 2 driver now. So he was able to finish the race. Campbell Adams, though, unfortunate DNF for him, as we will move over onto our big camera screen. Don't know.
You're missing.
Oh, I'm missing. I wonder what's happened there.
We'll get you back in a sec, but I think one of the big talking points, Campbell Adams, DNF today. He was definitely in the running for overall champion in OFI, so that's going to be a big blow to his hopes. He had a very good race on Tuesday to get a P5, and he was in P3 for a fair chunk of that race, but the DNF is going to cost him. I'm sure we'll get more info on that. I got a couple comments. Turn the lights on, Xandon.
Now my phone started on me just then. My phone's just started on me. So.
That's all right. We'll get it going in a sec. We'll also get the interviews underway while Xandon sorts that out. Firstly, thanks to everyone who tuned in for the race. I think we got up to about 180, 190 viewers, almost 200. So awesome to see, and everyone had an awesome race as well. Devastated. That's a round on Xandon. Yep, I agree. Anyway, we've got Al Karudin in our P3 sitter. First of all, mate, congratulations. And it turned out to be quite a comfortable P3 there for you in the end.
Good night. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Al. Yeah, obviously at the start, I don't know what's going on there. I think one of the I think Jack or somebody spin, and then one of them got damaged, and then we basically playing around there, just messing around there, and then just the gap just flew by, and then I got a gap. I saw a gap, like a good gap, and then I managed to pass the Red Bull, I think, and then after that, just use a bit of battery. It managed to get out of DRS, and yeah, basically that's it, really.
Yeah, it was a very good qualifying for you today as well, and you're able to get past Oscar King when a couple of the other drivers were getting held up quite a bit. So how important was that for you as well, and also to pick up a good result after your race on Tuesday?
Oh yeah, I'll be honest, I just chuck in time trial setup because the SRC setup is not good enough for me. I just chuck in the time trial setup, do a couple of laps before the race. Feel nice, and then the quality I don't know, I just send it. I don't really care, to be honest, and then managed to get P6, and then after that, because of Jeddah DRS rain, just try to keep it cool, try to not to get wing damage again, like on Tuesday, and after that, yeah, just pretty easy, pretty much straightforward from there.
There's a fantastic performance from you as well. Obviously, no stranger to the OFI podium. We have seen you up here before, so really well done. And did you ever feel like you're able to catch the guys up front, or were they just way too quick?
No way, I'm catching them. With 15 minutes of practice, no way.
That's very impressive with such little practice time. So I'm sure you'll be very happy with that win. And we've got obviously 4 more races to go in the season. So 4 more races to go in the season. How are you feeling about going over to Europe and then to the North Americas?
Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna feel in 1 month time. Is it in 1 month time? Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
1
even
month.
know so yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna feel then. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I would like to say something. I would like to give a shout out to the friends all my friends that helping me engineering, even though they're not doing much. We just talking basically throughout the whole race. But I give a shout out to Tristan Moore, Kieran Potter, Andy Fan, and T-Mac and Thomas McInnes. And I also like to give a shout out to my brother Zain at work. I know he's watching this, so shout out to this podium goes to you.
Yeah, it's awesome. I hope they're all watching and very happy for your result today. Zen, I'm not sure if you're there, mate. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm trying to get a link for the camera. It doesn't work, unfortunately.
That's
Super
all
sorry
right.
about
Do you
that,
have
guys.
any questions for Al Karudin before we let him go?
All I'll say is congratulations, bro, on the P3. Very unfortunate that I couldn't answer any questions here, but I think Jaden summed that up perfectly from what I could hear. So, yeah.
Well done,
Thank you, guys.
Al.
Thank you, guys.
Hopefully we see you up here again in the next couple of races as well. Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Very someone's just chucking in the chat, one of the most wholesome kings in our region. And I happen to agree. He's a very, very lovely guy. And you got your camera back. Well done.
Hello, yeah, there it is,
I've had the pleasure of chatting to him twice in the RL post-race interviews. So, great bloke and well-deserved P3 for him. And I believe we now have our P2 sitter in, Riley Mackay, and what a great race. First of all, we've got to talk about that pole lap, because not only was that first Q3 lap just absolutely insane, but you're able to beat it and clear all comers by 2/10. So how did you feel in qualifying today?
Well, Q1 and Q2 is always just a bit sketchy. The group's a bit lower. Turn 4 wall is always quite inviting. But no, I was happy, really happy with the banker lap. 0.5 mid to low is very, very solid. And it allowed me the license to push for the last lap, which is going really well. And then I got to turn 22 and little whoopsies, but it's okay. It was enough for pole and the lap was still good. So a lot of positives to take from it.
Yeah, sensational. And backing up your win on Tuesday with a P2 result here in Jeddah, you must be feeling pretty good about that. And after breaking that DRS from the drivers behind, are you just happy to sort of trade places with Greg all the way to the end? Did you feel pretty comfortable the whole way through?
Yeah, I mean, you had to stay focused and disciplined because, as we saw, lots of people crash tonight. Very easy track to just lose concentration and put it in a wall. But no, I no need to take a risk on the last lap. I wasn't playing DRS chicken because, I mean, P2 fast lap and pole is still a very good haul of points. I tried to hold on, but he just got a bit too far away from me into the last corner, and that was that. So yeah, nothing more to it. DRS is very powerful, and it's just the way it is in Saudi.
Yeah, you did play that really well, but a race to be proud of for yourself. And now I think you're either leading the championship or have equal lead at the moment. So you'll be feeling pretty good going into the next couple of races. Any particular concerns or strengths in the upcoming tracks for you?
Well, Zandvoort should be a much more calm race than Monza. Monza is going to be probably a bit more chaotic than tonight was, from what I've heard and seen behind. So yeah, DRS Monza is powerful. Slipstream at Monza is powerful. There's only a few corners and there's a lot more straights, so it's going to be a very tricky race.
Yeah, that was a very awesome race and a very great first week for yourself in OFI. Really making sure your presence is felt around the track. And I'll hand it over to Zandon if you've got any questions for our P2 finisher.
Yeah, great job in the P2. I know at the very, very start of the race, you guys started gapping off very, very heavily, about 16 seconds. Did you guys have like a little engineer in your ear? I believe Oscar may have helped you and told you exactly when to pit, or did you guys kind of unanimously decide that?
Well, Greg gave me a little weave behind on the straight, which obviously signal box because we have a safety cover. No, Oscar was driving his own race. I had a chat to him after he got damaged. He said quite early on. So everyone's saying that he helped people up. It's a bit silly. He's on hards, and he's fighting a different race because through the first sector and turn 4 we had a nice little gap, and I think he realized that that wasn't really his race. And when he got damaged, obviously the train opened up a lot more, which probably looked poor on his end, but I know he did nothing wrong. I had a chat with him. He had damage, so yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. I think, yeah, Oscar, there will be a few frustrated drivers out there, but everything he did was within the racing rules, so there's no issues there. He just put on a really awesome defense, and you guys up front were the beneficiaries. So, any final questions there, Zandon?
No, I think you were able to sum that up perfectly.
Yeah. So, thank you, Riley. Another great result for you. I'm sure you'll be feeling very great after that one, and best of luck for the rest of the competition.
Thank you, boys.
Cheers. That was Riley Mackay. He's been on absolute fire so far in OFI P1 and P2, and as is the man who has just joined our call, P2 on Tuesday, P1 tonight. The opposite of what Riley did, and a great race for you, Gregory Prisball. The win eluded you on Tuesday when it looked like you might have had it, but you got it back tonight. Well done, mate.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a good race. We just kept the pace up. I saw Oscar. I don't know what happened back there. I think he got damaged, like Riley said. And yeah, we were on mediums, and it was good opening stint, and then weaved, told Riley to box, and yeah, he followed me in, and then we sailed home.
Yeah, it was a very well organised lead from the front too. Just a bit of smart driving there. In terms of qualifying, Riley Mackay absolutely lit it up. You're about 2.5 tenths off. Was that just not getting everything out of the lap, or was he just way too quick for you?
I don't think in a perfect world I could have matched that lap, to be honest. I mean, my PB was quicker than the pole lap, but with the first lap, me invalidating, it wasn't the easiest final run. I just put a lap on the board, and it was good enough for P2, thankfully.
Yeah, it was awesome result to still get P2, even 2 tenths off pole is just incredible how Riley was able to do that. But in terms of the race strategy as well, you and Riley both opted for the medium tyres when most others went for the hards. What was the philosophy behind that? It seemed to work out pretty well for you in the end.
Well, we watched PSGL E Series, and the winners were on mediums, and it was just a no-brainer to start mediums when you're at the front. Fortunately, Riley went it with me, and then when you're the two medium runners in an 18-car grid with hards, you just naturally work together well. And thankfully, we broke, because I think if we didn't break the DRS, we wouldn't be here right now. We'd be somewhere down the order, because the mediums die really quickly.
Yeah, so race really just worked out quite well for you. I thought the pace was absolutely blistering as well, which was fantastic to see. And now, right towards the top of the OFI standings for yourself as well. So how are you feeling for the European tracks and then over to North America in the next couple months?
Yeah, looking forward to it. It's good to be driving again. PSGL is also starting up. A lot of laps, and yeah, looking good, I think.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Great result from yourself. And I'll hand it over to Zandon for any final points for Gregory.
I don't think I've got anything else. Again, you summed that up perfectly, Jaden. I know you guys really just worked together. You and Riley worked really, really well at the start. Let you put out a gap. But congratulations on the win, bro.
Thank you very much.
And yeah, so well done to yourself, Gregory. P1 and your OFI6 round 2 winner. So congratulations to him. And that's it for our interviews tonight. And what an awesome race we saw tonight. That's about the conclusion of our evening tonight. Zandon, what are your takeaways from what we've seen tonight?
Some very, very close racing, of course. A lot of collisions, as I kind of did expect that Saudi Arabia for you. But I think we'll see more of this heading into Monza and Zandvoort. I know we've got a good comms lineup for there. So I think Jack Humphreys might, because he was very, very fast. I think we might see him further up the grid, maybe fighting more of the VA boys as he's got more time to practice. He might start from now instead of maybe 2 weeks before. He's got the full month. Actually, yeah, just a month to practice. So, I mean, it's really, really good action.
Yeah. And it was also good to give the midfield drivers a bit of love tonight as well. We were pretty focused on that front pack on Tuesday night, but with the front two running away with it, we saw a few new drivers in the mix tonight for points as well, which is really good to see. And what has been a really good first week of OFI, obviously the game's been riddled with issues. We've managed to avoid them, which is fantastic. And we've had two really outstanding races, which the quality's been absolutely fantastic. And I can't wait to see what comes through in a month's time, where we're going to have George Morgan back in the commentary box. An OFI staple is George Morgan, an absolute professional. So I know everyone cannot wait to hear him back in the commentary box again as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. He is a beast on commentary. Everybody loves his commentary, so I think I can't wait to see him out there. So I think he'll be
it's going to be sensational. And there'll be a few other commentators joining them as well. I can't remember off the top of my head, but plenty of talent there as well, which is awesome to see. And yeah, so I can't wait to see it. And thank you, Xander, for jumping in the comms box tonight. I thought you were excellent in your first night out. I know this is probably longer than any race we've ever had to commentate before, but it's been outstanding.
Thank you. You did very, very good as well, like usual.
Yeah, so I'll leave you with the final word tonight. Thank you, everyone that's tuned in. There's still 82 people here. Remember, final reminder, get your code in for the giveaway by Next Level Racing. Make sure you do that just before we finish off. You've got your last chance right now. I think Slam is just chucking that in. Yeah. So obviously you will have more of a chance, but you get one entry per round. So if you want the best chance, you got to be there for every race. And so make sure you get that done. But any final words, Xander, before we let everyone go off and enjoy their Thursdays?
Make sure to come back. It's the date for Europe is the 12th of November and the 14th of November. Netherlands being the 12th and Italy or Monza being the 14th. Thank you for coming. My name was Brandon Seddon and I was joined by the legendary commentator Jaden Oakley. And we'll see you next time when we're on comms here. Good night.
See you, everyone.